Why is it so hard to love ourselves? If you could imagine waking up and looking in the mirror every morning and saying, I love you to yourself, would it be the truth? Probably not. If you were anything like me, just 5 years ago, I really didn't like the person that I saw in the mirror, even though it looked like on the outside, I could have everything that I've ever wanted. Now, if you stick with me today and watch this video, I can share a little bit about how I did it and how I'm able to love myself every day and be comfortable in the skin that I'm in and tell you that it's possible for you to do it too. It's not easy, but if I can do it, you can do it too. 5 years ago, I was trapped in self-loathing, arrogance, and ego. I know that sounds contradictory, but the reality was I had everything that I thought that I wanted. Beautiful house, beautiful family, had lots of wealth, and then everything changed for me. I had a spiritual awakening. And once I had that spiritual awakening, everything came to the surface, all the shadows came to light, and I had to work through every single one of them. And my guess is that if you are watching this video, you have probably felt some of the same things yourself. Things like guilt, shame, fear, insecurity, whether it's how you sound, how you look, the body that you're in. These are all things that I used to be so focused on. And when I would see myself in the mirror, I would say, what is that? Why do I even look like that? I need to go and fix that. But through this spiritual awakening, I found that the key is to resolve a lot of the traumas that came from childhood that made me feel like this in the first place. If I could do that, then it would be a lot easier for me to love the skin that I'm in. Now, I used to have a really big ego, and it might seem like a narcissistic thing, but I realized through my spiritual journey that I just had a giant programmed ego. We all have egos, and we all feel like we're the main character in our own superhero story. But the main character is distorted. We are told from a very young age what we're supposed to believe in, how we're supposed to be, what our relationship is like with food, what it's supposed to look like when we go out into public, how we're supposed to talk, the thoughts that we're supposed to have. They're all told to us by authoritative figures. These authoritative figures could be parents, educators, religious leaders, and they're all designed to make us question what our soul really feels. And that's why we have these problems, these fears, these insecurities, is because we never really stepped into the skin that we wanted to be in when we chose to incarnate into this life. That means that we never really got the love that we all needed in order to grow. Now, let me explain what that means even further. So, when you go through a spiritual awakening, and even if you observe people who have gone through a spiritual awakening, you can see they understand the concept of unconditional love. And they might preach unconditional love, and they might say that they love everybody, but the person that they don't love is the person that they see in the mirror. And why is that? It's because that person was never allowed to develop the way that they wanted to. You were not given enough hugs when you were a kid, and you just needed more love than what your caregivers were able to provide to you. And when I say your caregivers, that just means those people who were raising you, they were raising you based on the level of consciousness they were able to at the time. And that means for a lot of you that you were raised with love with conditions, not unconditional love. Love with conditions is when a parent or caregiver says, I will be happy with you when you do what I tell you to. I will love you if you accelerate at school. I will love you when you get top place in your sporting event. And if you don't, I will shame you. I will love you when you think the way that I think. But inherently, all that that's doing is teaching you that love is conditional. Whereas in the spiritual awakening, when you rise up to the heart center, to your heart chakra, that helps you to understand that love is the most powerful force in the universe. And you have to find the unconditional love that you never got and give it to yourself. It's really challenging to do that when you've been programmed to believe that real love is actually real love with conditions. We don't blame the people that raised us because they were only doing what they knew how to do. And we're parenting you based on how somebody parented them. Now, the good thing is that you can escape this. And the way that you can escape this type of self-loathing and love with conditions is through spiritual practices. One of my favorite things to do is just to look at myself in the mirror, and it's really tough. It's a lot easier now, but in the beginning, this just sounded completely insane, and it was extremely challenging. But I'll look myself in the mirror, and I will outright say, I love you. I love everything about you. I love the body that you have. I love your smile. I love your voice. And I would do that every single day until my subconscious mind actually started to believe it. I coupled that with guided meditations every single morning to help reprogram my subconscious mind, where I was listening to things about letting go of past events, about finding the love that was never given to me as a child and as an adult, and really seeing the beauty and love in everything. And over time, you can do the same thing. One of the things that I'll share is that it's challenging, but it's rewarding at the same time. Meditation is very challenging for most people because they believe that you have to get to this space of nothingness where you have no thoughts. And when you have complex childhood trauma to work through, it's really impossible almost to get to that place because your thoughts are constantly rushing. So I'll tell you that meditation doesn't necessarily have to be just sitting in silence. You can do meditation while walking. You can do meditation as long as you dedicate 10 minutes of just sitting with no other distractions. It's okay to allow the thoughts to come in and observe them and just think, I wonder what thought I'm going to have next. And if you can practice that, you'll get a lot better because it's a skill, a learned skill, just like you learn to read and write, you can learn to meditate. Now, besides the affirmation of saying that you love yourself and working on guided meditations, you can practice breath work. The breath is the secret to mastering what happens with your life. Deep breathing is something we were never taught as children or in the West. When we control our breath, whether it's through conscious breathing, breathing only in through the nose and out through the nose, keeping your mouth closed, or even doing basic breath work, like breathing in for 3 seconds, breathing out for 3 seconds. Repeating that for 60 seconds will have a major impact in resetting your overall nervous system and helping you to maintain a positive mindset. So affirmations, guided breath work, and for me, I did hypnosis. Hypnosis was an absolute game changer for me, and we're really splitting hairs between guided meditation and hypnosis. But hypnosis has a little bit different of a tone and a tempo, a little bit slower, where you can sit and you have to sit for about an hour with most hypnosis sessions, and you can find a ton of them online. But they really help for you to look at some of your childhood traumas that you went through and view them as an observer without having to spill your guts to a therapist. I'm not saying therapy is bad. Some therapy is good. The problem with therapy is that most people don't do the homework and they're only going 2 or 3 times a month. Whereas with self-hypnosis, you can do therapy every single day and see massive cumulative results in any of these spiritual practices just by doing the homework and making it a habit. You can make or break a habit in 21 days, and that's all it takes to make progress. Now, I hope that this video helps you to see the love that you have for yourself, because you are worthy. You do deserve love, and you do deserve unconditional love. The only way that you'll receive that unconditional love is by giving it to yourself first, because the universe is magnetic. You will attract people who are at the same vibrational frequency as you are, and they're all vibrating to their own version of love. If you're vibrating to the unconditional version of love, then that's what you'll receive. Love can appear in lots of different ways. It can be a compliment. It can be a smile. It could be a synchronicity from the universe. Anything can be love. It's not the version that someone taught you. It is certainly not love with conditions. If you're working through complex trauma, if you're on a spiritual awakening and you're feeling lost, by all means, please reach out. I'm happy to help. We have a school.com community called Modern Day Mystics, where many healers who are there to help you. Almost everything is completely free. All the information that you have to heal is within you, and everything that you need to do is available. All you need to do is take the steps and have the desire to change. If you have the desire to change, I would love to see you on this side, because my heart is as light as a feather, and I love absolutely everything about me and understand my mission and my soul contract now, 5 years after the fact. But I certainly do remember those feelings and can help you to absolve and abolish those feelings. So come join the school.com community. It's called Modern Day Mystics. And I really hope that you're able to heal and find that self-love that's unconditional that you deserve.